That's the real reason why people love and appreciate Tyler and the message of his stories, and they just come back for more. I don't want to cover everything. I can't cover everything that I see in a person's chart, but just in terms of for him and how he's succeeded in his life, especially given his issues with abuse and all sorts of abuse when he was a child, how he handled it. So what's the overall takeaway? How do we find purpose in trauma? Well, for Tyler, though his beginnings were, really hard, I see that Tyler really believed in himself. He had to in order to endure like 6+ years of failure while trying to get his play off the ground. And to me, that's an indication of a person who knows what they're supposed to do. I feel like we fundamentally know what we're supposed to do. Even if we don't know it consciously, we know it subconsciously. We know that there's something that we are supposed to be doing, so much so that even when we fail, we continue doing it, even though people may be looking at us and going, "What are you doing? You should just stop right now. You're not getting anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing what you need to do in order to succeed. Why are you still going on?" And some of you may have experienced that. You tried doing something, you failed at first, and you really struggle with it. And sometimes even your friends or close family members may tell you you should quit, but you don't want to quit. Sometimes you shouldn't quit. There are times when people should, but sometimes you shouldn't quit. So Tyler's situation was an example of that. Waiting from age 22 to 28 for his play to finally make it. And he didn't just wait, he continued to work on it. Continued to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until he could get it right. That's another message or takeaway from this. While you're waiting, while things aren't going the way that you want it to go, continue to work on it. Think of yourself as almost like a mad scientist in a lab. You're mixing different concoctions together, trying to see what works. And you know that all of them aren't going to work. But it's kind of like a process of elimination. That doesn't work, so you take this out. It still doesn't work, then you take this out and add this. It's a little better, okay, so maybe a little less this, a little more that. Sometimes in life, that's all it is just playing with things just to see what eventually works out. And when you have something that you love to do, sometimes we have things that we need to do. And looking at Tyler's chart, I feel like he needed to write. He needed it for the therapeutic benefits of it. And out of that came an opportunity for him to develop professionally. So sometimes you're going in a direction that you need to go into. And that's something that people may or may not understand. And that's okay. It's nothing to really get upset about because other people close to you don't understand where you're coming from and where you're going. We can't always expect people to understand what's going on with us. So that's 100% okay. It's okay for me, and I would love to see it be more okay for others. Because we don't know each other's path. We don't know what each other is supposed to be doing in life. So it's hard for people to really give you good advice sometimes or help you in a real way, even if they really want to. So though people told Tyler, including his own mother, to quit and just get a regular job, he continued, he persevered because this was something that he needed to do. He was determined, but it sounds like to me he didn't really have another choice. He needed to do this. Another benefit with Tyler that I want you guys to note is these references to his 11th house shows that he had an emotional connection to his work, and that emotional connection formed a connection with his fan base. And I think that's the real reason why he's been able to build such a real fan base, a real group of people that always support his work no matter what. That's the real reason why people love and appreciate Tyler and the message of his stories. And they just come back for more. They come back for more wisdom. Mentioned the Medea character, the tough elderly woman. That's really what she's about. Yes, she has antics, things that she does that are funny, coming from basically Tyler Perry dressed in a dress. I mean, the humor of that, this really big 6-foot+ man in a dress, in a gray wig. Yeah, there's humor in that, but he always wraps this in a woman who is basically loving and helpful, especially to her family. She wants to look out for her family. She tries to give them good wisdom and advice. And so he does that, and people continue to come back for that. Because who knows how many people are in his audiences that are suffering in the same way when it comes to trauma. The same trauma that I talked about in the beginning of the episode, and the trauma that Tyler Perry has experienced. So from that perspective, make sure you're good with making an emotional connection with your work so that people can connect with you and your work. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Overall, make an emotional connection to your work. Make sure you're doing something not only that you're passionate about, but something that you have to do. And then that will make it easier for you to believe in yourself, especially when it's hard and you're not getting the results that you want.